Whenever there is an area where Eastern really needs a basket, they are running the offense through Blanton.
And Blanton's been the star of the show for Eastern Kentucky, a team that's 3-1. And looking to continue to build on that. Eve, this team is second in the country in offensive rebounds per game. We saw what Detroit Mercy did to Ball State last time on the offensive glass. That has to be an area of focus for Ball State today.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's a statistic you almost can't even wrap your head around. 17 offensive rebounds a game. Mick, if you think about college basketball in general, the average teams get an offensive rebound around 30% of their misses. Eastern Kentucky is hovering in the high 40s, almost 50% of their misses. They're coming down with offensive rebounds. So no question about it, the rebounding battle is going to be a huge statistical area to watch here this afternoon.
That's Ball State, Eastern Kentucky. We have much more coming up on the Greg Hubler Countdown to tip off. Go ahead and visit PromiseKet.com. That's PromiseKet.com. Greg Hubler presenting our pregame show for Ball State basketball. We'll get to more, including head coach Michael Lewis comments next on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. We're back inside the Greg Hubler Countdown to tip-off. Ball State is in Estero, Florida, near Fort Myers, playing in a 3-day tournament here with Coach Lewis before Ball State takes on Eastern Kentucky. Coach, appreciate your time, and hopefully been able to get the views and enjoy some of the palm trees before we get rolling here today.
We got in late. What is it today? Monday. So we got in late Saturday. It was already dark by the time we got in, so we were practicing full game prep tomorrow. The unique thing, and I'm thankful for is is we're not flying back until Friday. So, you come down here to play 3 games. Also, you want the guys to have an experience. So we're going to be able to spend Thanksgiving together. They'll get I told him, hey man, you'll get to enjoy the resort, Thursday and kind of kick back and enjoy it. So let's make sure we try to keep our mind on what we came down here for.
What kind of a test is this to play 3 games in 3 days this early in the season?
Well, you set it up, at our level in our leagues. If you're gonna have any postseason anymore, that's what you got to win 3 games in 3 days. So I think getting that experience of the quick preparation and playing physically three games in 3 days and what that takes from a mental toughness standpoint to be able to execute in those situations, I think is valuable experience.
Coach, looking at Eastern Kentucky, they like to play fast, turn you over, shoot a lot of threes, offensive rebound. What do you see when you turn on the tape?
Well, I think they got one of the best players we're going to see all year in Blanton. He's a throwback guy. I respect the hell out of him. He could have gone other places and talking with their coach, he's like, I could have, he came to him and said, Coach, I can go somewhere else and get lost in the shuffle. And he's had a good experience there. He's a 5th-year guy, all 5 years at Eastern Kentucky. He's getting an opportunity to, he's mentioned for mid-major player of the year. He's going to be able to play professionally because he's just stuck to it and worked, and he's improved. If you look at his career, he's improved every year. And, they got a good program. AW's been there for a while, coming off a conference championship, picked a, first, second in their league, depending on what you look at. And he's been able to establish some things over time. And but I think Blanton is going to be a really tough cover for us. And then they're second in the country in offensive rebounding. That's been an issue.
You mentioned Blanton. What does he do well?
He plays within himself. He's a very willing. First of all, he's a very willing passer. Like, obviously, he can score it when he wants, but he uses the attention that he gets when he has the ball to help his teammates, which is a sign of a great player. He's a very willing passer. He gets those guys open threes. They're able to play off of space because of the things that he demands. He's a 6'5", 6'6" wing. He can play inside and out. If there's a negative that he's got to continue to work on is just expanding his game beyond the 3-point line. He can make a 3, but it's not what he does best. You don't speed him up. He uses his body, mid-range, great footwork, shot fakes, all the stuff. Kind of reminds me a little bit, as I'm explaining his game, of a mid-major Jaime Jaquez, a guy that Jaime is a little better shooter than Blanton is at this point, but just really understands who he is and how to attack.
Head Coach Michael Lewis joining us before Ball State and Eastern Kentucky hit the floor. Coach, appreciate your time as always. Good luck this week.
All right, thank you.
Head Coach Michael Lewis joining us on the Greg Hubler countdown to tip-off in Muncie. Visit Greg Hubler Ford and Hyundai in Marion. Check out Greg Hubler Buick GMC. Hey, if the Cards win, you win 50% off regular price. Any size pizza, any toppings at Papa John's. Offer valid until end of business on the day of a win, by phone or in person only at Marion, Muncie, and Anderson locations. And because the Cardinals play early today, you'll have all day after a Cards win to pick it up. That's Papa John's, 50% off during Ball State wins. We'll have more coming up on the Greg Hubler countdown to tip-off. It's Ball State and Eastern Kentucky. Ready to roll here in the Gulf Coast Showcase from Florida on the Cambridge Radio Network from Learfield. Welcome back inside the Greg Keebler countdown to tip-off. Ball State and Eastern Kentucky, the first game of the Gulf Coast Showcase here from Estero, Florida. David Eha, Mick Tidra with you. Before we get started, Matt Tunnell's back in our network studios producing here today. It's the Cardinals taking on Eastern Kentucky for just the 9th time in program history. Eastern Kentucky leads the all-time series 7-1, but Ball State won the last matchup back in 2016, 91-86. All right, E, when you look deeper into this matchup, what's maybe one-on-one matchup that you're looking at? We talked about Devontae Blanton quite a bit, but is there one-on-one matchup that you see being a key piece today?
Well, aside from Blanton, I look at George Kimball. He's a guy that comes from Division II, averaged 19 points a game last year in Division II. He has really made the adjustment. He is their second leading scorer at 11 points a game, has the ability to shoot the three, can put it on the dribble. And so when you talk about shutting Blanton down, who are those other guys you got to be mindful of? Kimball's a guy that jumps out to me. And speaking of Blanton, Ethan Britton Watts is going to get that assignment on Blanton. So certainly Ethan, the best perimeter defender, going to have his hands full because Blanton is 6'6", going against Ethan at 6'1".
So that's Ball State's big matchup, Blanton versus Ethan Britton Watts. Ball State plays Eastern Kentucky today, and then tomorrow night, 6 o'clock against Florida Tech, and then 6 o'clock on Wednesday, the 27th, against Richmond. The 6-team field is all set, so Ball State plays the first game of the tournament, and then the 6 o'clock games the last 2 days. And from the 6-team field, other teams that are here that Ball State won't see, Louisiana Tech is here, Southern Illinois is also here, so really good field. Ball State won't see everybody, of course, but 3 games in 3 days, like Coach Lewis, does give you a chance to really test what your team can do in this short window.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And look, Cardinals don't play Louisiana Tech. I think they're the best team in this field. And it's interesting, their game against Richmond out of the A-10. Richmond reminds me a lot of Ball State, Mick, in that they've got almost an entirely new roster. They've got great individual talent. They just haven't been able to put it together as a team. And a lot of what the Cardinals' struggles are, I see in Richmond. So I think both of those teams are in the same boat coming into this week, and it'll be interesting to see them match up again on Wednesday.
So we'll see what happens there, but until then, Ball State takes on Eastern Michigan here from Estero, Florida in the Gulf Coast Showcase. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Cardinals Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. So Ball State, Eastern Kentucky are the first 2 teams to play down here in the Gulf Coast Showcase from Hertz Arena, and then we'll have a 3 o'clock and a 6 o'clock game as well each and every day. So 12, 3, and 6 gives everybody a chance to kind of have that little bit of a break. But it's Southern Illinois, Richmond, Louisiana Tech, Ball State, Eastern Kentucky, Florida Tech. Southern Illinois takes on Louisiana Tech after this. Richmond versus Florida Tech to finish it up. And then tomorrow, EKU and SIU, Louisiana Tech and Richmond tussle, Ball State and Florida Tech. And then to round out the three-day event, Eastern Kentucky, Louisiana Tech. That'll be a really good way to end the tournament there at noon. SIU, Florida Tech at 3, and then Richmond and Ball State at 6 o'clock. So that's a quick look at the tournament field and where things stand here in the Gulf Coast Showcase. Not a typical tournament. There's 6 teams they decided just to do. Everybody plays a few teams, get your 3 games in 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the original intent, right? They're trying to line up 8 teams, 2 canceled. And on short notice, they were lucky to get Florida Tech to jump in here, so at least you could get the teams to continue to come, and everybody's got 3 set games, but not the way it was designed when the Cardinals originally signed up for this.
Looking at some other teams in the Mid-American Conference playing basketball today, the Fort Myers tip-off Palms Division. Miami, Ohio leads Siena 32-21 at halftime. Buffalo takes on North Carolina A&T tonight, along with Eastern Michigan at Houston Christian. Central Michigan's at Minnesota. The Chippewas are 3-2. Golden Gophers are 4-1. That'll be an intriguing matchup, E, because Central Michigan already knocked off a really good George Mason team this year. They go to Minnesota. Could be one of those other matchups to keep an eye on.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, Mac has come close. I mean, BG played Michigan State very well. Couldn't come away with the W, so interesting results early on in the MAC.
That is the look inside the Mid-American Conference. Teams tip it off here today outside of Estero, Florida. In the Gulf Coast Showcase, Ball State, Eastern Kentucky about ready to get this thing rolling. Let's look at today's officials, brought to you in part by IU Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Muncie for expert care that keeps you moving. Learn more at IU Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. It's Todd Austin, Mick Fieldbinder, and James Gibson, our officials from the Gulf Coast Showcase. We'll step aside one final time, come back, starting lineups, opening tip from Florida. It's the Gulf Coast Showcase on the Cambridge Radio Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens here for the Gulf Coast Showcase, and off we go. Peyton Sparks taps it to Ethan Britton Watts for Ball State as the Cardinals work it right to left for the opening possession here from Estero, Florida, against the Eastern Kentucky Colonels from Florida. Ball State has it right to left. It's Wansi Gorosito who flips it back out to Jamari Fat Hill. Hill goes back and forth, loses control on the right wing, recollects. The ball's popped out of bounds, but it looks like it's saved as a player's climbing the table as Jordan Crawford saved it, dished it off to his teammate Devontae Blanton, and Blanton's fouled by Jamari Hill. So crazy sequence of events. Crawford was able to save that ball at midcourt far side and give it off to Blanton.
Yeah, turnover in the Cards' first possession, going to be something to watch. Eastern averages 10 steals a game, Mick. They like to get steals and then get out in transition.
24th in the country in forced turnovers per game is Eastern Kentucky. And they convert their first point here today with Blanton at the free throw line to our right. Eastern Kentucky's 6'6" forward splashes down the second free throw as well. And Ball State, after turning it over on the first possession, has to face some full court pressure from Eastern Kentucky. This EKU team scores 82 points per game. That's 96th in the country, but there's a lot of teams that score right in that range of what Eastern Kentucky does, a high-flying offense. Ball State gives it up to Jamari Hill for the right wing, trailing 2-0, 45 seconds in. They're doubling up Hill on the right wing. It gives Britton Watts a wide open left corner three-pointer. Bank misses out, and a rebound pulled in by George Kimball III, a sophomore out of Tampa, Florida, turns it over. Ball State has 2-on-2. Here goes Watts. Give to Hill on the right wing. Gorosito now takes it right wing and recontrols. Dish down to Sparks, muscling his way through. Picks up a double team, throws it in, and draws a foul too. The big fella down low ties it up 2-2 with 18:52 first half. On the drive over, you said if Peyton Sparks can make a couple of and ones, this is going to be a game changer.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What do we talk about? He's getting the ball in low. A lot of these easy ones he's not finishing. That time you saw it, getting the and one attempt. That was a great entry by Gorosito. Nice job making the free throw.
And Sparks gives Ball State a 3-2 lead just a minute gone by here from Estero, Florida in the Gulf Coast Showcase. Eastern Kentucky's a 3-1 team. Ball State is 1-4. Couple of losses in a row. Left wing three. It's a deep throw from Crawford. Karam's out. Watts the rebound for Ball State. Watts right to left. The Cardinals trying to go up here by a possession or two as Juancy Gorosito has it for the right wing. Shuffle pass to Sparks on the baseline left, and he takes an extra step with it. He was ready to attack the rim, but before putting the ball on the deck, took that extra step. So a couple of turnovers early on for the Cards.
Yeah, and you got to credit Evans Paul. He pushed Peyton off the block that time. Peyton caught it almost near the three-point line. Tried to drive, got called for the travel. It was all about where he started with the catch.
First half brought to you apart by GameBridge. Check out GameBridge.io for all of your financial needs. Eastern Kentucky basketball tumbling toward the lane as Wool, high off glass, misses left. Offensive rebound falls in the lap of Kimball III. Kimball redirects the offense. This is the second best offensive rebounding team in the country. They're already shown it here this morning as Kimball throws it right at the feet of Paul. It's knocked out of bounds, and Ball State has possession on the baseline right, holding a 3-2 edge 2 minutes in.
Tell you, pretty good job in the half-court defense. The other thing you notice, Mick, when that ball was knocked out of bounds, everybody on the Cardinal bench up and cheering. A lot of energy and body language good early on for Ball State.
Like Coach Lewis is a big proponent of, hey, look, we're playing basketball. We're in the state of Florida. It's colder in Muncie where we could be. Instead, you're at a resort area. A little confusion as teams are going back and forth before the inbounds pass. But Coach Lewis said it 2 years ago, too, in the Bahamas, like, hey, these are once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. Take advantage of it. Ball State's showing that energy so far. Cardinals 3-2 lead, 17:45 first half. It's Britton Watts, left-handed dribble near the midcourt logo, showcasing Gulf Coast Showcase in black, green, and blue. Dish down to Sparks, commands a double team. He's rejected down low by Evans Paul, the sophomore from Naples, Florida. Left to right goes Blanton. Deep three-point ball, and Eastern Kentucky's star forward cashes in. Coach Lewis said that Blanton has to get better at threes. He said, well, there it is.
Yeah, they lost him in transition. That's where they like to get a lot of their threes, Mick, on the break.
5-3 EKU lead, almost 3 minutes into the game. Full court pressure again from Eastern Kentucky. Dish down to Sparks. Blanton's ready to double team him. Instead, Sparks hits the floor, spins around, lays it in off Paul. Peyton Sparks looks different today.
Yeah, the double team, Mick, is not coming on the catch. They're waiting on the dribble. That time, Peyton, good patience, had space all the way to the rack.
Sparks has all five here this afternoon. It's a 5-5 ball game, just over 3 minutes in as Blanton, turnaround Jay, 5 feet out, misses short, rebound Pearson, and Ball State also draws a foul. This one's on Wool, and Ball State's bench again explodes with the Pearson rebound.
Yeah, and Peyton Sparks with a couple of fist pumps to Mickey Pearson. Mickey leading the MAC right now in rebounds at 8 per game. Full court pressure by Eastern, man to man. They will run and jump. The whole idea, Mick, yeah, it's great if they get a steal, but they're going to make you take time getting into your offense.
They'll try and wear teams out. Cross-court pass up to Sparks, the full court pressure. Ball State has the basketball, 5-5 game, 3.5 minutes in. Sparks cross court to Britton Watts and finds Gorosito from the left wing. This is pesky defense as Martinov checks in for EKU. Hill's doubled up, dish down to Pearson, pump fake, throws it up, misses long. Sparks taps it around, but Martinov secures with two hands as the junior center transfer from Eastern Michigan playing with Eastern Kentucky, gives it off to Kimball. Free throw line right, backs it up, and it's Crawford with the basketball, who's averaging 10.5 points per game this year. Crawford gives off to Martinov, back to Crawford, shimmies around, left wing, Hill stays on top of him, Crawford pushes long, ball's tipped around by Martinov, can't get it to go. Blanton's there for no board, misses it strong too. Rebound Watts. 5-5 game, 4 minutes in. Hill, left corner, it's Pearson, deep three-point ball, rolls around and out. And a rebound for Meyer Wohl, the sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina. And EKU has it left to right. Wohl fakes a straightaway three, dribbles between the legs. Gorosito tips it and steals it. Here goes Ball State, giving EKU a dose of its own medicine. Pull up, right wing three, deep shot, and it's in. Juancy Gorosito gives Ball State an 8-5 advantage, 5:25 first half.
I tell you, I like this backcourt of Britton Watts and Gorosito. Gorosito the steal, took it all the way, pull up three. Those two guys can shoot. You want them in the lineup.
Gorosito just completely flipped that possession with the takeaway and the three-point ball. Blanton now backing down Watts, give to Crawford straight away, pushes off Gorosito, throws it up at the free throw line and swishes it down. That's what Crawford can do, 10.5 points per game. 8-7, Ball State leads it 5 minutes in, and now Ball State nearly has it taken away, but Gorosito grabs it away from Kimball. Coach Lewis calls out the offensive orders as Gorosito backing up Crawford. And now handoff to Hill at the midcourt logo. Hill fakes right, goes left, attacks rim. He's blocked, but rolls through it and puts it in and draws a foul. Blanton hit the ball. Hill went through it and put it in and is going to the free throw line. This team just has a different feel right now, E.
No question about it, and I'll go back to the lengths of not only the body language of the bench, but also the coaching staff. Michael Lewis with a couple fist pumps. Great start to this ball game for the Cards.
Ball State has a 10-7 advantage, 14:37 to play in the first half. Hey, check out the Pride Bark Student Athlete of the Week, brought to you part by Pride Bark Construction. Our Student Athlete of the Week this week is courtesy of Ball State Swimming for her efforts in helping the crew. It is Alexa Vaughn Holtz. She's the Pride Bark Construction Student Athlete of the Week. Picked up a program win at Bellarmine, and she helped lead the Cardinals in 2 of the Cardinals' 5 individual event wins, taking top honors in the 200 freestyle and 100 butterfly. That is our Pride Bark Construction Student Athlete of the Week, Alexa Vaughn Holtz, brought to you in part by Pride Bark Construction. First half continues when we come back on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Ball State basketball an 11-7 lead, 14-14 to go here in the first half. Cardinals turn it over. EKU has possession. It's Crawford from the left wing, drives, left-handed scoop, misses long, and Hill the defensive rebound for Ball State. Here goes Gorosito, already has 1 3 today, slows things down, and stares at Devontae Blanton right in front of him. Gorosito backing up toward midcourt, wants the screen, instead hands it off to Hill. Ball State a 4-point lead. Hill just had a block and now takes it himself downhill, attacks the rim, leaves it short but draws a foul against Martinov. Transfer from Eastern Michigan, and Hill's going back to the free throw line.
Well, you mentioned downhill. That's exactly what you've seen the last couple pick and rolls. Jamari doing a great job getting around the screen and lots of area and just putting his head down, getting all the way to the rim. That time drew a foul. And Mick, the Cardinals defense right now holding Eastern to 2 of 9. There have not been any easy looks for the Colonels.
And they've only given up 2 3-point attempts. In the first 6.5 minutes, that's what's going to help Ball State win this game. Hill misses the first free throw to the right. Cardinals 11-7 lead with 13:46 here in the first half. Hey, thank you to Jason Shively at Victory Honda of Muncie for his support of Ball State Athletics. Visit victorymuncie.com. That is victorymuncie.com. Ball State with a 4-point lead. Hill has 3 points in 6 total minutes thus far, and Hill's second free throw is pure. Now Watts checks in, Hill goes out. Turner Buttery joins in for Eastern Kentucky. Junior from Bowling Green, Kentucky, was Mr. Kentucky basketball a few years ago.
And now you've got Mason Jones, the assignment on Blanton.
Jones usually guards one of the best defenders on each team. Now Blanton receives a screen. Watts picks up Blanton. Backing down Watts, baseline right. Blanton turnaround, Jay slips in. Watts did about everything right, and Blanton just beat him. 12-9, Ball State lead with 13:24 first half. More full court pressure from EKU. Ball State breaks through with Watts double team near midcourt. Slides it for Gorosito all over his back. Is Tyler Andrews, the junior from Los Angeles, California, climbed on top of the shoulders of Watts. That'll be a foul every day.
Yeah, no question. And look, that was the first time Eastern Kentucky went to a zone full court press, a little 2-1-2. The previous times they were picking up full court man-to-man.
And guess what? That's already the 5th foul on Eastern Kentucky. Ball State's 5th in the country at getting to the free throw line, so that could pay dividends early. Watts off to Jeremiah Hernandez, doubled up on the left wing, flings it back for Gorosito. 7 to shoot, Jones, right wing, jab step in front of EKU's bench, far side right. 3 to shoot, Hendricks free throw line, has to get a shot up, and the shot clock expires as Hendricks lost track of the shot clock. And Coach Lewis is telling his team, hey, somebody keep an eye on that shot clock and help you out. 12-9 game, Ball State in front, 13 minutes to go first half.
4th turnover for the Cards. Eastern with 3 turnovers themselves. Cards with a 6-2 advantage, points off.
Blanton for the right wing, team leader in points per game at 16.5, stands at the free throw line, spins out of a double team, puts one up, and smooth roll home. Blanton's just different. Coach Lewis was worried about him entering today, and he's already got 7 of the EKU 11 points.
He gets to the middle of the paint, Mick, at 6'6". He just elevates.
Check that, he has 9 of the 11 points. 12.5 to go, first half. Ball State's up a point. Gorosito from midcourt. Driving out of a double team, gives off Jones. Sprays one down to Hendricks, baseline left. 7 seconds to shoot. Hendricks has it out of his hands. Recorrals in front of EKU's bench. Hendricks backing down the shorter Myrick, but leaves it short. Rebound EKU. Here goes Blanton. Hand off to Andrews. Spin around off Gorosito. Way too long on the shot, but Ball State fouls him. Coach Lewis wasn't happy. That's the under 12 media timeout. Ball State 12, EKU 11 on the Cardinals Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Hey fans, check out A1 Graphics, a valued printing partner of Ball State Athletics. Visit a-1graphics.com. That's a-1graphics.com. Ball State 12, EKU 11, 12 minutes to go here in the first half from the first game in the Gulf Coast Showcase. He's the former guard, David Eha. Mick Tidrow with you. Matt Tittle's producing. We are live from the sunny Florida here at the Gulf Coast Showcase. Beats working for a living,
You got that right, partner.
And free throw for Andrews to the free throw line right. It's the first free throw, so a 12-12 ball game.
Hendricks, Mason Jones back on the bench. Mickey Pearson, Peyton Sparks out there. Cardinals hadn't scored in 2 minutes and 38 seconds, so you got some more offense back out there.
Andrews nails both free throws, 13-12. Eastern Michigan leads it, or Eastern Kentucky leads it now with 11:53 to go here in the first half. Hernandez in between the leg dribble into the front court, double teamed. Eastern Kentucky trying to take it away, but Ball State's able to slide it down to Hill on the baseline left. Doubled up, give Watts. Hernandez steps into a left wing three-pointer, swish. Jeremiah Hernandez, first team all OVC last year, heating up a little bit the last couple of games. Ball State's back in front, 15-13.
Boy, good sign for Jeremiah. Just 2 of 12 from deep before he drilled that one.
11:30 to go first half. Trying to answer is Andrews, left wing three, sprays long, rebound. Myrick for EKU. Give to Blanton. He already has 9 of the 13 EKU points. Leaves it for Holt, right wing Trey. Karam's out, rebound to Hill. It's 2-on-2. Ball State right to left. Hill through 2, lays it up with the left. It's just missed right. And a rebound for Myrick of EKU. 2-point Cardinals lead, 11 minutes to go first half. A drive to the baseline right for Buttery. Kick out to Andrews, puts it on the deck. Every single one of Ball State's players jumped off the bench to say double dribble, but instead it's a foul on Hernandez of Ball State. 15-13 Cards advantage, 10:52 first half.
I'll tell you, Mick, the defense has been outstanding. Eastern Kentucky just 4 of 13, 31%. And what's been great with all those misses, the Cardinals have yet to allow any second chance points for a team that's second in the nation in offensive rebounding.
And guys not named Blanton are 1 for 8 from the field for EKU. Blanton has 9 points on 3 of 4 shooting. Myrick has it for EKU, inbounds pass, 2-point Cardinals lead. Crawford drives the baseline and then skips one to Buttery, but it's off his hands into Ball State's bench. It is an EKU turnover. Cards basketball leading at 15-13, 10:46 first half.
Yeah, dead even now at 4 turnovers apiece. TJ Birch going to come in. Mick, important for TJ Birch. This is the most pressure defensively he's going to face as a point guard. Not only bringing the ball up, but initiating the offense. So a big challenge right now for the freshman.
And Birch wearing a brace on his left knee today for the first time this season. He receives the entry pass, trying to fight through Buttery in this full court pressure. Birch able to bust through it and surge forward to the midcourt stripe. Cardinals lead it by 2, 10:30 to play here in the first half. Birch dribble between the legs. The freshman from Dallas, Texas, throws it toward Andrews. It's a steal for EKU. Yeah. And here's Buttery left to right. Pulls up an NBA range three-point ball, but it rolls off right. And a rebound for Sparks. Ball State has it right to left with a 2-point lead. We approach 10 to go here in the first. TJ Birch controls, stands idle at the midcourt logo. Looks for Hill, gives it to Hill. Crawford guards him. Hill drives, baseline left, stop, stutter, double team, kick out Birch. Whips it to Pearson at the free throw line left. There's double teams everywhere for EKU's defense. 5 to shoot, step back 3. Hill sends it up, misses long. Rebound to EKU's Myrick. EKU Kintyre take the lead here, working left to right with Crawford. From the left wing, hands off to Myrick, puts it on the deck, dribbles here the right free throw line. Buttery drives, kicks, corner left side. Andrews just inside the three-point line. Nope, they say he's beyond the three-point line, and he hits it 16-15. EKU's back in front with 9:30 to go first half.
Michael Lewis furious, thought it was another double dribble before that made 3.
That's the second time Ball State's wanted that call. Here's Hernandez driving to the baseline. Left, hop, step, and a throw up, but misses it. Draws a foul, though. It's a foul on Jackson Holt, the redshirt sophomore to Cincinnati.
And you can see why on that drive, Mick, why Jeremiah is so proficient at getting to the foul line. He does a great job of using his upper body to create and initiate the contact.
Hernandez, free throw line left, hits the first of two. 16-16 ball game. 9:19 to go in the first half. Side, Hill pulls up. Free throw line extended, swish home. Pulls up. Free throw line extended, swish home. Back and forth, Fat Hill goes left, step back right. Cardinals lead by 2.
Nothing fancy about that. One-on-one versus Holt.
Kimball, right baseline, cut off by Sparks. Nifty pass to Myrick, blocked from behind by Jones, but it's also a foul. Jones got the body a little bit, hit the ball, and 2 free throws upcoming for EKU to our right. Cardinals 18-16 lead with 8:35 first half.
Yeah, Montavious Myrick started his career, Mick, at Northern Illinois, played 7 games there, then went to a junior college. This is his second year at Eastern Kentucky.
In his senior season, Myrick from the free throw line right, hits the back of the rim, and it pops out. Cardinals to hold the 2-point lead.
Got to be wary of the free throw rebound, only a 55% career free throw shooter. Mick, you talk about Myrick, one thing that jumped out to me, man, oh man, does this guy get in foul trouble. He's played 39 minutes and has 13 fouls already. So a foul every 3 minutes. I think now would be a good time to give Peyton Sparks a touch.
Yeah. Both Myrick and Sparks in the game. As Myrick grabs the basketball, gold shoes. Pristina on the floor, swishes the free throw. Ball State 18, EKU 17 with 8:35 to go in the first half. Watts back in for Ball State. Gorosito grabs it, surges forward. Double team hits him at midcourt. Find Watts. Kick Hill, left wing drives. Baseline left, cut off. And has to reset with Watts straight away. Sparks is calling for it, working against Myrick. Coach Lewis says go. And with 10 on the timer, give to Jones straight out. Gorosito steps into it on the right wing, then gives off to Sparks. 5 to shoot, backdoor cut to Hill. Up and under, lays it up and in. Hill cut by everybody and gives Ball State a 20-17 lead, 8 to go first half.
Great cut by Hill, better pass by Sparks.
One-hand pass from Kimball out to Crawford straight away. Misses the three-point ball short, grabs the rebound, puts one up again, misses long. Sparks fighting for the board, but 2 Ball State Cardinals hit the deck. Myrick the offensive rebound, down to Blanton, and he puts it up and through. 20-19, 1-point Cardinals lead with 7:40 first half.
You give a team that good 3 opportunities in 1 possession, Mick, eventually they'll make you pay.
Watts to the rim, floater trickles out, rebound Myrick. Here goes EKU hunting for a lead, down by 1. Kimball, baseline right, hop, step, throw up, miss long, rebound to Myrick, throws it, Hill grabs it, baseline right for Ball State, trying to call a timeout, and instead it's a jump ball. EKU basketball when we come back, 20-19. Ball State leads it with 7:19 in the first half of the Cards Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Visit Gill Brothers Furniture and Mattress to make your house a home. Proud sponsor of Ball State basketball. Gill Brothers makes great living affordable with 2 convenient locations in Muncie and Anderson. See us online at gillbros.com. Ball State 20, EKU 19 with 7:19 to go after the under 8 media timeout. It is Eastern Kentucky basketball on the baseline right. He's the point guard, David Eha. Mick Tidrow with you. Matt Tuttle is in our network studios back in Indiana. And we're live from the Gulf Coast Showcase in Estero, Florida. EKU has it, baseline right. It's Jordan Crawford set to throw it in, loops it to Paul, and then back to Crawford, corner right side, drives into a double team, tries to lay it off for Blanton, who grabs it and throws it in for two. Blanton leads all scorers with 13 points. Cards down one. Here goes Hill trying to posterize somebody, but Paul fouls him. Fat Hill about destroyed Yevons Paul's career, but it doesn't go in. Oh, goodness.
Ooh, baby. I mean, Cards turned the tables on Eastern Kentucky. Got it out after the made basket. Ethan Britton Watts threw it ahead to Jamari Hill. He had one thing on his mind, and that was posterizing Tyson Andrews.
Trying to end somebody's career, man. Hill instead going to the free throw line for two shots to our left.
Oh, man, is he fun to watch.
Isn't he? And Hill's first free throws all twine. 21-21 with 7:05 to go in the first half. Hendricks out, Sparks back in. When Ball State's been able to, it seems like they're subbing Hendricks in for defense, Sparks in for offense. This time it kind of goes the other way. But they've been subbing those two pretty much all game.
Yeah, they have. And I think the other thing you're seeing is the two-headed point guards of Gorosito and Ethan Britton Watts. With the defensive pressure, I just don't think TJ Birch is going to get as many minutes typically as he would off the bench, going with the veterans.
Hill nails both free throws, 22-21. Ball State back in front with 7 to go first half. Watts guards Blanton, and a kick out to the left side to Kimball. Kimball can hit it from deep, instead receives a screen and drives to the free throw line right. Wheels and deals, step out, right corner three-point ball. It's an air ball short. Martinov, the board, puts it up short and misses, but draws a foul. Coach Lewis was saying, hey, that looked like a travel to me. But instead it's a foul on Pearson.
Well, Mick, something the Cardinals are going to have to get a handle on is the rebounding, right? It's starting to add up. That is now 7 boards. Eastern hasn't been able to take advantage, only 4 second chance points. But over time, statistics are going to go in their favor. So you've got to get all 5 guys on the glass.
I was about to ask, what do you do against a team that rebounds this well in the offensive end?
It's guards. Everybody rebounding down. You got to put a body on guys. Martinov's an interesting story. You know, coming out of high school, he chose Georgia Tech over Missouri, Northwestern, Wisconsin. Didn't really play much there. Transferred to Eastern Michigan, now at Eastern Kentucky.
And Martinov goes 1 of 2 from the stripe. It's the second. Ball State and Eastern Kentucky tied at 22, just under 7 to go first half. Ball State basketball, Gorosito racing into the front court. Kimball's attached to his right hip. Gorosito trying to create some separation. Looking for Hill, unable to find him. Now slides it to Hill, who leads Ball State's offense today with 10 points. Hill receives a screen, drives baseline left. Ball's popped out. Martinov steals it. Here goes EKU left to right. Cross-court pass. Blanton from the right baseline gives it off to Martinov, who's fouled from behind by Sparks. Martinov missed the shot, but Sparks got enough of him. And it's 22-22 with 6:17 first half. And Martinov's back at the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that foul, right? Make him earn it. He's only a 42% free throw shooter.
So Eastern Kentucky has a chance to take the lead. It's been a back-and-forth ball game so far. From the free throw line right, Martinov buries the first. Ball State's largest lead's 5, Eastern Kentucky's is 2. The margin just been razor thin so far.
Martinov is a big dude, 7 feet, 230.
Martinov, bend to the knees, flick of the right wrist, and it rattles out. Hill the defensive rebound. He already has 4 rebounds and 10 points.
Been a while since Sparks had a touch.
He had the first 5 points for Ball State that Sparks has not scored since. Watts near the midcourt stripe, backs it up, looks for Sparks instead, flips it to Gorosito for the left wing. Gorosito off a screen, doubled up, almost picks up the pivot, instead turns it over. It's Kimball there, 2-on-1. Kimball gives it off to Blanton, the trail man, and lays one up and in on the baseline right. 25-22, EKU leads it, 5:40 ticking first half.
Turnover leading to fast break points. They are in the passing lane. You just gotta be careful, make everything sharp.
Eastern Kentucky contingent, far side left, making some noise. Sparks grabs it, pick up his dribble, give off to Pearson, baseline left, up and through Blanton for two.
How about that backdoor cut by Mickey Pearson? That's what Mickey's game is. Great find by Sparks.
Sparks has 2 assists, leading the team so far as the big man in the post. Cardinals cut it to a 1-point game. Kimball left wing 3, rolls around and out. Watts the defensive rebound. Coach Lewis says slow it down. EKU's not pressuring full court off the miss. 25-24 EKU advantage, 5 to go first half here from Estero, Florida. Kimball pops it behind, forces the loose ball. Blanton picks it up, throws an alley-oop for Wall, but it's way past him as it goes out of bounds. Baseline right, Ball State possession off of the turnover from EKU. That's the 5th for the Colonels.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's 8 turnovers for the Cards. Much like the offensive rebounds, Eastern not taking advantage like they could on these turnovers.
Tell you what, Ball State has to be pleased with how things are transpiring so far with those numbers that you just said.
Yeah, and it's been the defense. 8 of 24 shooting, 2 for 10 from deep for Eastern. They average 9 made threes a game.
Gorosito said, Buttrey, get off me, and Buttrey races back to try and guard Gorosito. 1-point Eastern Kentucky lead. Ball State possession with 4.5 to go first half. Pearson down to the baseline left, spins, misses the floater, rebound to Wall. Here goes EKU left to right. Up into the front court, it's Blanton who has a game-best 15 points. For Wool, straightaway Trey. Karam's out right. Gorosito skies for a 2-handed rebound at the chest. Gorosito flies into the front court. Crawford's all over him. Gorosito trying to shove it to the side, runs baseline left, and it's picked off. Here goes Blanton left to right. EKU trying to add on to a 1-point lead. Corner right, Buttrey deep 3-point ball. Rims out, rebound to Hill. It's popped out of his hands by Wool. And it's out of bounds, corner right side, so Ball State holds possession 25-24 with 4:06 to play first half. There's not been a ton of scoring, but this game is moving fast.
Yeah, and I mean, 9 turnovers now for the Cards. Another example where Eastern couldn't convert. They missed a 3 in transition. They have 26 field goal attempts to the Cardinals' 17, Mick, because of the offensive rebounds, but Eastern just not able to hit.
Ball State basketball trying to regather the lead. It's Hernandez, flips it for Hill to the front court. Hill's leading the team with 10 points so far today. Watts sets the screen. Hill races toward the free throw line left and then backs up. Cross-court pass. Pearson open tray from the left wing, rolls out. Hendricks the rebound, tries to tap it in, but he misses short. Blanton the rebound. Martinov's by himself. Baseline right. Hill rejects it. And a rebound for Buttrey. Put back goes. And Hill's hurt on the baseline right after that block. Hill went airborne and crashes down hard and is holding his arms on the left side, and now he grabs his backside.
Yeah, Mick, he hit the deck. I mean, he wasn't able to brace his fall. He pinned that ball on the backboard, and when he landed, he came down hard on his backside.
And Coach Lewis is now on the floor, too, trying to help out Fat Hill. EKU's 27-24 lead with 3:36 to play in the first half on the Cards Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Hey, if you're tired of your friends looking so good without a filter, or if you're like me and trying to keep up with the ever so good-looking David Eha, achieve your best self with your subtle yet significant enhancements at Muncie's premier destination for skin rejuvenation, Indiana Vein Institute. Check out more at revitalize-med-spa.com. revitalize-med.com. That's revitalize-med-spa.com. Eastern Kentucky 27, Ball State 24. 3 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the first half here from the Gulf Coast Showcase in Estero, Florida. Good sign for Ball State. Jermari Fat-Hill, who was hurt right before that timeout, is being seen by the athletic training staff behind the bench, but he walked off under his own power, holding his backside.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it's one of those things that it might be just as good to get back out there. The longer you sit, it's probably going to tighten up, but good to see him walk off on his own power there.
And Coach Lewis is actually back there with the training staff, seeing if Hill's okay, instead of being on the sideline right now, coaching his team as they go on the offensive set right to left. And now Lewis is back there calling out the offense. 3-point Cardinals deficit. It's Watts who flips it for Sparks. Top of the key, the big fella sets a screen for Hernandez. Hernandez back out to Pearson. Right wing to Watts. The 6th-year college basketball player Watts has 7 to shoot for the right wing. Dumps it down to Pearson. Left baseline, 4 to shoot. Kick out. Watts wide open, 3 to tie it. It rims around and out. Rebound Martinoff for EKU. Here go the Colonels left to right with a 3-point lead. 3 to go first half. First game of the Gulf Coast Showcase here from Estero, Florida. Blanton, who's leading all scorers with 15 so far this afternoon, steps into the free throw line right. Fadeaway shot, rolls around and out. Sparks grabs the defensive rebound for Ball State. Here go the Cardinals right to left. Surging forward is Hernandez. Has 1-3 today. Backs down to shorter Blanton. Spin around Jay, misses right. Rebound for Blanton on EKU's baseline left. Here goes Blanton. Turns on the Jets. Skips it out. Left corner, it's Wool. Step into one, 5 feet out, rolls around and out. Rebound Hernandez. And the USI transfer, first team all OVC, stops and gives off to Watts, who stands idle at the midcourt logo.
Michael Lewis didn't like that last shot by Hernandez. My guess, he's coming out in place of Joey Hart.
EKU 27-24 lead, 2:10 to go in the first half. Hart has not played so far today, as Sparks puts it on the deck, then picks up his dribble, flips it to Gorosito. Zone defense for EKU. Gorosito left wing 3, deep 3-point ball rattles down, his second of the day.
Man, bailed the Cardinals out. Great recognition, only 3 on the shot clock. He had no choice, Mick. Hand in his face, drilled it.
27 all, under 2 to go first half in this Gulf Coast Showcase opener. It's Blanton backing down to Watts. Fadeaway Jay, so silky smooth, and Blanton nails it 5 feet out for a 29-27 EKU lead. Inbounds pass. Gorosito works it right to left, surging quickly for Ball State. Coach Lewis points with his right index finger for the Ball State offense. Gorosito sends it to Sparks, who has it knocked out of his hands, tries to recollect it in the corner left, and falls out of bounds with it into EKU's bench. Ball State turns it over for the 9th time this afternoon.
Well, as expected, Hernandez going to the bench. Joey Hart in, Peyton Sparks out, Ben Hendricks in. Mick, how do you stop Blanton on that move? He's 6'6".
How would you?
I mean, at 6 foot, 6'1", there's nothing you can do.
Your roster card said 6'3", by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Blanton had it corner right side, flip out, deep 3-point ball for Andrews, and it rattles home. Eastern Kentucky takes its largest lead, 32-27, and their bench, along with the fan base here in Estero, Florida, stands on its feet with 1:03 to go here in the first half. That is what Eastern Kentucky does well. Blanton commands so much, but he's one of the best passers, too, in the ASUN.
That's right. Michael Lewis talked about it in your pregame interview. Eastern is a really good three-point shooting team. They had made just 2 of 12 prior to that one, so you knew at some point these were going to start falling. And credit Blanton, does a good job being unselfish. Big last 1 minute here for the Cardinals. Michael Lewis calling a timeout, drawing up a set play, see if you can't get a good look here. The disappointing thing, the Cardinals got Eastern in foul trouble early on, but unable to really take advantage of it and get to the free throw line. I mean, Ball State in this game, 6 of 8 from the charity stripe. Could have been a lot more.
Eastern Kentucky had 6 fouls with 8 minutes to go in the first half. They've committed just 1 in the last 7 minutes.
Say, referees, man, they are letting them play. Eastern is hand checking, very physical.
And now there's a whistle, and a technical foul has been called right after you said that, that they're letting them play. One of the officials James Gibson turned around and teed up Coach Michael Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, Michael feels like they've missed the two double dribbles, another traveling call, and then letting his players be hand checked.
We've seen Gorosito a couple times as Kimball hits the first of two technical fouls to our right. Gorosito's had to throw guys off of him, and they're still not calling that foul on Gorosito, and usually they're calling that.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, he's got every right to be upset right now.
So Kimball hits both free throws, 34-27. EKU's lead is now 7, its largest of the afternoon, with 1:03 to go in the first half. Ball State possession from the right baseline. Have to go full court against this pressure against EKU, and now it's a 5-second violation. Pearson couldn't get rid of it, and he says, my bad, my bad.
Boy, so this could be a 4 or 5 point swing after Coach Lewis called the timeout to set up something.
Hernandez in, Gorosito out for Ball State. EKU with a 3-1 record, 1 loss to Clemson so far this year. Ball State's on a couple of game losing streak, trying to find a rhythm. Here's Kimball, slips it from Myrick to the baseline right, fouls before the shot. He made it, but 2 free throws upcoming on the foul before the shot by Hernandez. 8th team foul, 2nd on Hernandez. Feels like EKU's ball movement now is just starting to pick up a little bit and causing some problems.
Yeah, they're doing a good job getting paint touches, Mick. And when you do that, you've got to draw help, and they're doing a good job finding the open man. Myrick, again, not a great free throw shooter, 56% on his career, so be wary of the miss.
He's 1 for 2 today. If the game takes you on the road, we're there. Check into the Courtyard Monsignor Rise Convention Center. Check out Marriott.com. As Myrick hits the first one, EKU's out to a 35-27 point lead with 57 seconds to go first half.
Well, with a make here, you really have to handle the full court press. The last thing you want to do is another turnover.
Myrick bounces the ball a couple of times. Gold shoes gleaming off the floor, sinks the free throw, and it's EKU 36, Ball State 27. 57 seconds to go first half. Watts breaks the full court pressure, a give to Pearson. Pearson leaves it for Sparks, out to Hill and back to Watts. Ball State finally gets it across midcourt. And Watts now one-on-one stands idle near the midcourt logo, works against Crawford. Watts receives a screen from Sparks, rejects it anyway, gives it off to Hill. Hill has a team best 10 points, creates separation against Andrews, drives baseline left, hook shot, floats in. Jermari Fat Hill flashes off the athleticism and cuts the deficit to 7, 36-29. 24 seconds to go first half, and EKU can hold for the final shot.
Mick, not only the stop, you got to finish the possession with a rebound.
The second best offensive rebound team in the country, EKU today, has a total of 8 in this one. 6 to go. Blanton drives baseline right, misses strong. Defensive rebound for Pearson. 2 seconds to go. A 3/4 heave here in Astoria, Florida, goes left of the rim, and that sends us to halftime. Ball State got the stop, keeps it a single-digit game, 36-29 after 1 half of basketball. We'll have the halftime show coming up here in a few moments from Astoria, Florida, as head coach Michael Lewis and Ball State walk off, talking to the officials to try and square things up. Halftime show up next on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. 36-29 our halftime score on the revitalized Med Spa halftime show. Eastern Kentucky leads Ball State by 7 from the Gulf Coast Showcase. David Eha, Mick Tidrow with you. Let's go ahead and take a look at our check of stats presented by MITS, Muncie, Indiana Transit System. No car, it's no problem. MITS is reliable, safe, and free for students and veterans. Download the MITS Bus app and ride with MITS today. E, what stands out to you through one half?
Well, what stands out to me is what we talked about, the keys to the game, right? The two categories, turnovers and rebounding. Because the Cardinals have turned it over 12 times and given up 8 offensive rebounds, they've had 11 fewer field goal attempts. And even though Eastern Kentucky's shooting 33% to the Cardinals' 45%, because of the turnovers and the offensive rebounds, they're just getting too many opportunities. So the Cardinals definitely have to shore up both of those areas. Offensively, pretty efficient half for the Cardinals if they're not turning it over. 10 of 22 shooting, 3 of 8 from deep, 6 of 8 from the foul line. Meanwhile, Eastern Kentucky, we mentioned it, 33% from the field, just 3 of 13 from deep. That's 23%. 11 of 14 from the foul line, 78%. Rebounding, 21-15 edge. And we talked about those 8 offensive rebounds. The Colonels with a 7-0 advantage in second chance points. Points off of the turnovers. Big advantage for EKU, 14-6 edge. Individually for the Cardinals, they were led by Jamari Hill, 12 points on 4 of 6 shooting. Also leads the Cardinals with 4 rebounds. After that, Gorosito, a couple of threes for 6. Peyton Sparks had 5 early points on 2 of 3 shooting, 3 rebounds. Mickey Pearson, 2. Ethan Britton Watts did not score. Hernandez with 4. Hendricks, Jones, Birch all played but did not score. And we talked about Devontae Blanton, and man, as he delivered 17 points in the first half in 18 minutes. 7 of 11 shooting, 5 rebounds, an assist. He's done it all for them. After that, Andrews with 8, and Myrick 3, 2 apiece for Kimball, Buttry, Crawford, and Martinoff. So if you can do the job on Blanton, nobody from Eastern has really shown the ability to step up and pick up that scoring slack. Number 10 has done a lot by himself.
He has 17 on 7 of 11 shooting in 18 total minutes. He has already exceeded what he averages per game. His season high is 23 points. See if Ball State can shut down Devontae Blanton in the second half. That was your check of stats presented by MITS, Muncie, Indiana Transit System. Check them out, ride with MITS, and download that MITS Bus app. We'll have much more coming up on the revitalized Med Spa halftime show next on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Back inside the revitalized Med Spa halftime show, 36-29. Eastern Kentucky leads Ball State here at halftime. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves across the Cardinals Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. With the Gulf Coast Showcase, Ball State and Eastern Kentucky, the very first game of the tournament, and then Southern Illinois and Louisiana Tech are at 3 o'clock. Richmond takes on Florida Tech at 6 p.m. Tomorrow and Wednesday, also 3 games, 12, 3, and 6 o'clock again, sprayed throughout the course of the week. Ball State takes on Florida Tech tomorrow and then wraps up the tournament against Richmond on Wednesday. That's a look at what the Gulf Coast Showcase presents here team-wise and matchup-wise for the Ball State Cardinals. Looking at some scores for Mid-American Conference teams, Miami, Ohio, they're also in Florida for a tournament as well. They are playing Siena, and that score is 68-58. Miami leading with 14 seconds to go. Buffalo plays North Carolina A&T. Eastern Michigan, Houston Christian link up, and Central Michigan is at Minnesota. Let's look at some out-of-town scores and what the Gulf Coast Showcase offers here from Florida. We'll continue the revitalized Med Spa halftime show, and we return. Cardinals trail 36-29 on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. When the Cards win, you win 50% off regular price city-size pizza. City toppings from Papa John's. Offer valid until the end of business on the day of a win by phone or in person only at Muncie, Marion, and Anderson locations. If Ball State wins that, you'll have most of the day to get that 50% off at Papa John's. David Eha, Mick Tidra with you here on the Revitalized Med Spa halftime show. 36-29 EKU leads. Real quick, second half adjustments for Ball State.
Yeah, you simply have to take care of the basketball, Mick. You've got to put some mustard on the passes. They are overplaying the passing lanes. They are being physical. You just have to show toughness. Don't turn it away on the defensive end. You have to finish possessions with rebounds. It's going to take all 5 players, including the guards, boxing out and holding them to one and done.
36-29, our halftime score, brought to you in part by Revitalized Med Spa. That'll do it. Second half is coming your way next. 36-29, Cards trail by 7 on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Second half brought to you in part by GameBridge. Winning demands consistency. Find a better way to grow your money at GameBridge.io. That's GameBridge.io. We begin the second half from the Gulf Coast Showcase in Estero, Florida. Eastern Kentucky 36, Ball State 29. He's the point guard, David Eha. Mick Tidra with you. Matt Tuttle's back at our network studios in Indiana. Ball State receives the first possession of the second half, working left to right here today in the white uniforms, designated home team here today. Eastern Kentucky in the all blacks with the red numbers and names on the jerseys. Pearson flips it for Watts, who receives the inbounds pass and wheels it between the legs into the front court for the Cardinals to open up the second half. Give off to Fat Hill. He's Ball State's leading scorer today with 12. Drives baseline right on Blanton, muscles through, and softly lays one home for 2.
Mick, they're so aggressive defensively. They are up on you. Jamari Hill did exactly what you have to do. Beat him right off the dribble.
Hill did not get double digits last game, but he's quickly flipped that today. And now Gorosito nips it right out of Blanton's hands, baseline left of Eastern Kentucky. The Cardinals get a bucket and a stop. Down 5, 30 seconds into the second half. Hill wing left, dump down to Sparks. He just runs right through Crawford and puts it home. The big fella moved Crawford out of the way.
So you're switching on pick and rolls. Hill's guard ended up on Peyton Sparks. Easy deuce for the Cardinals.
And just like that, it is a 3-point game, 36-33 with 1 minute gone by here in the second half. Blanton, free throw line left, chucks it up. It's intercepted by Gorosito. A 3 ties this game, and Gorosito's got a couple already today. He stands straight away, gives it off Pearson, corner right side, drive against Crawford, who fouls him. Crawford was bumping on tight coverage, and Pearson draws another foul.
Terrific start defensively, getting it done. Great sharing of the basketball, and I'll say it again, Mick, the body language of the bench. Cards have been in it from the jump here.
Watts set to throw it in, baseline right, off to Gorosito, corner right. He's wide open for a 3, splash home. Gorosito has 3 trays, and it's a tie ball game at 36 with 18:40 to play.
Great execution of the end out of bounds play.
EKU has let Ball State just walk all over him here in the second half. 7-0 run out of the gates after EKU went on a 9-0 run at the end of the first half. And now Hill reaches in against Kimball to commit the foul. First team foul of the second half.
Yeah, he's only the second player with 2 fouls. Jeremiah Hernandez had 2, so Cards not in any real foul difficulty.
36 all, a minute and a half into the second half. Some fireworks from Ball State's offense, sparked by the defense. Here's Kimball, receives a screen, stands in the right wing. Coach Hamilton in a crouch, calling out the offense, and now Wool gives off to Paul, baseline left, who lays it softly up for 2. 38-36, EKU's back in front. 2 minutes shaved off the second half. Here's Watts in between the leg dribble, works against Kimball, who picks him up near half court. A throw for Hill, who's guarded by Blanton. Hill said, hey, I couldn't get it because Blanton was grabbing me, but there's no call, and it's a turnover on Ball State.
Yeah, I mean, they just overplay the passing lanes. Now, that was a dead ball turnover, so that helps. But, again, just initiating the offense has been difficult.
EKU has the basketball and a 2-point lead. Blanton stands at midcourt, receives a screen from Paul. Blanton, a game best 17 points on 7 of 11 shooting. Pulls up at the free throw line, misses right, rebound Paul. Spin around, throws it for Wool, who toe taps the baseline. Gives it to Paul, who goes right through Sparks and puts it up with the left hand and in. Discombobulation, but EKU still found a way to get 2.
And again, off an offensive rebound, Mick.
40-36, EKU's in front, 2.5 minutes off the second half. Here's Hill for the right wing. Ball State's leading scorer today with 14 points. Behind the back dribble, attacks the rim, draws a foul off the miss. Either Hill's going to score or draw a foul, and he puts the ball down and runs like that.
Yeah, I tell you, Eastern Kentucky reminds me from a physicality standpoint of what it's like playing Kent State.
Good
I
comparison.
mean, these guys are in your grill. They're aggressively in the passing lanes. And once you catch it, they're on you so tight that really they do give you opportunities to put it on the deck and get to the rim, and Hill's doing that.
Hill from the free throw line writes, first one drops out left. Pride Mark Student Athlete of the Week brought to you in part by Pride Mark Construction. Excellence and the highest standards of quality are the focus of Pride Mark Construction, supporters of Ball State athletes and also the Muncie community. Our Pride March Student Athlete of the Week is sophomore Alexa Von Holtz, a swimmer who helped Ball State pick up a win against Bellarmine, and she won the 200 freestyle and 100 butterfly. Congratulations, Alexa, on winning Pride March Student Athlete of the Week. And Hill missed the second free throw as well. EKU has a 4-point lead and the basketball. 17 minutes to go, second half. Kimball drives baseline left, just loses the ball out of bounds, and Ball State forces a turnover.
That's the 8th on Eastern Kentucky. More full court pressure.
Ball State's got to work it left to right, trailing by 4. 3 minutes into the second half. Here's Watson between the leg dribble. Crawford picks him up at midcourt. It took Watts almost all 10 seconds to get across midcourt. As Hill has it, works against Blanton. Two best scorers on the floor guard each other here right now. Hill slips it. Sparks one-on-one, spins right, goes to the rack and lays it in. Sparks is starting to show off that muscle.
So Mick, what the Cardinals did there is this great spacing. Peyton Sparks was all alone on the block. There was no way a double team could come because Wansi Gorosito was way out on the wing. So what happens, you can't leave Gorosito. Peyton had all that room to work one-on-one.
That is the offense that Coach Lewis has been begging to have.
Yep, good play design there by Coach Lewis.
EKU's up 2, 16 and a half to go second half. Blanton receives a screen, rolls off right. Watts picks him up. Blanton's backing down Watts 10 feet away from the cup. Wansi Gorosito helps with the double team. Blanton kicks Crawford left wing, open three-pointer, pops off right. Rebound to Blanton, second best offensive rebounding team in the country. Blanton throws an alley-oop. The ball gets stuck between the rim and the backboard, and EKU's Paul goes to grab it, throws it down, and then Hill fouls him.
So that was interesting because Cardinals got the stop. Everybody did a good job of boxing out, but nobody went after the basketball. Eastern Kentucky gets the loose ball, goes as another offensive board.
So now Paul's to the free throw line left, and the lefty shoots 2.
Brick alert here, just 1 of 5 on the season.
High arcing shot, spits out right. That is one high arcing free throw shot.
You mentioned Paul from Naples, Florida, went to Southwest State here, just literally 5 minutes away from this arena.
Ball's second free throw, short, Pearson the rebound. The Mac's best rebounder nearly has it taken away, but it's punched out of bounds by Wool. Baseline left, it stays Ball State basketball. 40-38, 16:08 to go in the game. Ball State can tie or take the lead. They used a 7-0 run to begin the second half and are outscoring EKU 9-4 here in the second frame.
Really awkward place to inbound the ball. It's on the sideline near the baseline. So you've got to get an entry here versus man-to-man full court pressure.
And we're on top of a hockey rink to boot, so the floor doesn't extend very far out. Inbounds pass, Hendricks grabs it above his head, then leaves it for Watts, who crosses the midcourt timeline with a hip-high right-handed dribble. Now dribbles between the legs against Blanton. Watts slips it for Hill, backs down the shorter Kimball. Hill turns around, gives it to Hendricks. It's off his hands, and Crawford picks it up for EKU. Colonels with a 2-point lead, looking for more. Wool left corner three-pointer, splashes out. Blanton the offensive rebound, goes up. Gorosito holds his ground, a miss from Blanton. Ball all the way around to the floor. Blanton picks it up, gives to Kimball, straight away 3, yes. Chaos leads to 3 for EKU.
And so do offensive rebounds. Mick, the story of the game. Turnover at one end, 2 more O boards.
That is 13 offensive rebounds now for EKU. Ball State has no offensive rebounds. It is the second best O-board team in the nation at 17.5 per game. Well on their way to surpass that today. And now top of the key, all the way over is Paul, and fouls Hendricks.
And that's the call Michael Lewis has been looking for because, yes, we all admit they're aggressive, overly aggressive in Coach Lewis's mind, and that time they got the whistle.
Thank you, Jason Shively, Victory Honda of Muncie, for support of Ball State Athletics. Visit victorymuncie.com. That's victorymuncie.com. 43-38. EKU leads, 15:04 to go in the game on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Hey, when the game takes you on the road, we're there. Check into the Courtyard Muncie at Horizon Convention Center. You'll find everything you need to transform your visit into a relaxing getaway. Book online today at Marriott.com. Eastern Kentucky 43, Ball State 38 with 15:04 to play in the second half from Estero, Florida in the Gulf Coast Showcase. It's the opening game of the Showcase. EKU with a narrow 5-point advantage as Ball State has the basketball left to right off of the timeout.
And Mick, you see Cardinals trail by 5. They're shooting 54% to Eastern Kentucky's 34%. Eastern with 15, count them, 15 more field goal attempts.
Watts to the corner right. Pearson from 3, pushes it long. Rebound Hendricks. That's the first O board for Ball State.
Yep.
Pearson has it, corner right side, drives to the baseline. Ball's bobbled around. Kick out to Hill, right wing. Throws it to the left side. Watts left wing 3. Yes! Ethan Watts has been waiting to find one, and he nails it to give Ball State a 3-point ball and a 2-point deficit.
And what happens? First offensive rebound, Cards swing it, leads to an open 3.
Coach Lewis is in the crouch, clapping his hands. 43-41, EKU's lead with 14.5 to play in the game. Wool, left wing, lobs it for Blanton, who has a game-best 17, but none here in the second half. Blanton backs down Watts. Watts tips the ball out of bounds. Baseline left. It stays with the Colonels, but Ball State's defense picking it up. Nine on the shot clock for EKU. Kimball set to throw it in.
Tell you, they've done a good job on Blanton these first 5 minutes. No points here in the second half for Blanton after 17 in the first half.
Coach Lewis is trying to direct traffic on the defensive end as EKU throws it in with Kimball. Martinov back to Kimball, left wing 3, leaves it short. Hendricks skies for the Ball State rebound. Cardinals can tie or take the lead here. 2-point game, EKU leads it. Hill drives quickly, free throw line right. Stop, stutter, between the leg dribble, now attacks, up and under, puts it in, we're tied. Jamari Fat Hill gives it a 43 all game with 14 to play. Kimball, right wing, fakes it against Gorosito. Coach Lewis wants to travel, doesn't get it, and Crawford now steps back in front of Coach Hamilton. EKU's big man Martinov standing at 7 feet, drives and hands it off to Kimball, but Fat Hill's charged with the foul. And that is his 4th personal foul with 13:43 to play. What do you do in a tie game?
Yeah, you got to take him out here. I mean, you still got 13 minutes to go. Jeremiah Hernandez in, but that hurts because what happened, Mick, is they were putting Hill in the pick and roll. He was getting a switch on EKU's big. There's no way a 7-footer can guard Jamari Hill out on the perimeter.
So Hill has to check out. We'll see for how long. 43-43, 13:40 to play. Blanton curls off a screen, hunting for his first points of the second half. Instead, flips it Andrews left wing. Ball State taps it. Watts gives it to Pearson. It's 2-on-2. Pearson rumbling toward the lane, puts it in. Ball State has a lead for the first time in the second half, 45-43. 13:20 to go, second half.
How nice is it? You get offensive rebound, now you get a turnover and a basket.
And the Cardinals go man-to-man defense here against EKU. Crawford, right wing, curls off screen, chucks one up, air ball short, Hendricks the rebound. Coach Lewis throws up 2 hands, says slow it down to Wansi Gorosito. Gorosito points with his left index finger to Hernandez and receives a screen from Hendricks. Double team, top of the key. Gorosito nearly loses control. Recollects, drives baseline, puts it up, it rolls out. Pearson the O board, flipped up, and it is off of the hands of Blanton. It stays Ball State possession, baseline right. 45-43, Ball State leads with 12:50 to go.
Tell you, the Cardinals are giving Eastern a piece of their own medicine right now. Couple low boards, Cardinals getting some turnovers, easy looks in transition. Big minutes here, TJ Birch in for Mickey Pearson.
So Birch set to inbound it on the baseline right. With Hernandez, Hendricks, Gorosito, and Jones on the five on the floor for Ball State. Birch grabs the ball, the 7-foot Martinov in his face. Jones curls toward the rim, is rejected by Buttrey from behind, and Hernandez can't save it in time. No, they say it's last touch by EKU. They say Buttrey touched it out of bounds. Hernandez walked out with it, but they say it was already out of bounds. So Ball State possession, 2-point lead into the corner, far side right.
7-0 run the last 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
Birch throws it in for Hernandez. Hernandez off a screen, ball hits off the foot of Martinov, and there's also a foul as Hernandez hobbles, favoring his left foot. So that is a foul on Martinov, and that is the third team foul on EKU here the second half.
A little bit of a Bronx cheer by the Cardinal faithful saying, finally, guys, finally.
It's actually the fourth team foul on EKU. Sparks checks back in for the Cards. Hernandez set to trigger in. Finally hits Birch. Throw to Sparks. Double team, spins out of it. Hits Gorosito. He's 3 for 3 today from 3. His straightaway tray rattles out. O board for Jones. 0 O boards in the first half for the Cards. They have 4 in the second half. Birch spins out of trouble. Finger roll. Oh, baby. TJ Birch, show it off. 47-43 as Birch hits the 2.
Oh, baby. That's TJ Birch's best highlight of the season.
12:20 to go, and now Birch nearly steals it, tipped it off the hands at midcourt. And Coach Lewis says, hey, control it a little bit, but Birch was pumped. Nearly had the turnover, too.
How good was that little spin move?
That is not a freshman out there on the floor.
That was a thing of beauty.
4-point lead for the Cards, 47-43 with 12:10 to play in the game. What a game here in the Gulf Coast Showcase. Blanton loses control, free throw line left, spins around and hits. He just does everything, E. With 12:01 to go, EKU calls a timeout, but he didn't even have control of the basketball until he shot it.
Yeah, he's got 8 field goals, only 1 free. I'd say 6 of his 8 field goals have been that same move. Gets to the paint, raises up, a little fadeaway. Man, he's tough.
So the timeout from EKU with 12:01 to play in the second half, 47-45. Ball State leads it here from Florida. Thank you to Sam Pierce at Sam Pierce Chevrolet in Danville for their support of Ball State Athletics. And a special thank you to Terry Schweer. Visit SamPierceChevy.com. That's SamPierceChevy.com. Second half continues when we return on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. (47-45). Ball State leads. 12:01 to go here in the second half from the Gulf Coast Showcase in Estero, Florida. It is Ball State basketball working it left to right against the full court pressure of EKU. TJ Birch, the freshman who just made a magnificent play. Last possession has it standing idle at the midcourt logo.
First time all night, Eastern Kentucky goes to a matchup zone.
It's Hernandez with the basketball, puts it on the deck, flip to Sparks, up and under, draws a foul but misses. The Cardinals have forced 5 EKU fouls in the second half, and the big fella Sparks going to the free throw line.
Great execution. First time they've seen the zone, got it in the middle to Mason Jones. Great pass. Cards shooting free throws when we come back.
At Mancino's Pizza and Grinders, every dish is created to order using only the freshest, finest ingredients. Visit Mancino's in Muncie at 4116 West Bethel Ave. And stop by Mancino's Sweet Shop right next door. Cards up 2, 11:40 to go on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Choose IU Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Muncie for expert care that keeps you moving. Learn more at iuhealth.org/move. Peyton Sparks shoots free throws to our right as Ball State leads at 47-45. 11:40 to go in the game. Sparks misses the first free throw. Grabs the ball, bounces it a couple of times, eyes and flies and flicks the left wrist. It's short. Rebound defensively is picked up by Tyler Andrews, the junior from Los Angeles. EKU trying to tie or take the lead, 47-45, and now TJ Birch hits the chin of Turner Butchery, and it's a foul on Birch, Ball State's 4th team foul.
Yeah, look, I'm okay with that because the referees are letting you play physical. When you have the quickness of TJ Birch, why not get up and be a little aggressive?
Well, that wasn't a problem in the first half. They let those plays go. They are tightening up here in the second half. 5 fouls on EKU, 4 on Ball State. Cardinals lead at 47-45. 11:30 to go in the game as Blanton drives baseline left, attacks Sparks, misses long. Ball hits off of Blanton, and there's a whistle on the baseline. It looked like it rolled. Left wing, the freshman drives, absolutely swatted away by Myrick, but a foul. Myrick got all body on Birch. So Birch to the free throw line right on the 6th team foul from EKU.
Yeah, TJ 69% on the year, 9 of 13.
TJ Birch, the true freshman, averaging 9.5 points off the bench, has just been electrifying for this Cardinals team. First free throws a swish home. Birch in this one with 3 points in 3 minutes.
And I'll say it again, Mick. I mean, this is really good experience for the freshman. He had that early turnover in the first possession. Since then, has kind of settled in, but going against defensive pressure like this is only going to help him mature.
Birch buries both free throws. Cardinals 49, Colonels 45. 11 to play here for the Gulf Coast Showcase. Kimball hands it off to Blanton. Blanton wants a screen, gets it, but Ball State defense holds. The smaller Birch on Blanton, nearly takes it away. Blanton instead drives, stops, pops, 10-foot J, no. Myrick the offensive rebound. Wool left corner three-point ball, misses out, and a rebound to Blanton again. EKU's Blanton throws it up and makes it. He didn't have control of it again, and somehow found it and shot it and makes it.
And Mick, again, another offensive rebound, 15 now.
2-point game, Ball State possession. Here's Watts with 10:10 to go in the game. Birch stands, midcourt logo. Crawford, the veteran, guards the true freshman Birch. Birch blows by him, doubled up, give to Sparks, right free throw line. Hits the deck, gives to Hernandez, right wing three-point ball. Karam's out, and Myrick right in front of Sparks grabs the defensive rebound for EKU. 49-47, Cardinals lead with 10 to play. Blanton going back to work. Inside the free throw line left, backdoor cut to Crawford, who dances down the baseline left and races back out to the left wing. Birch nearly takes it away. Crawford throws it baseline left. Sparks grabs it, hands off Hernandez, and the Cardinals look for a 2-possession lead. Trying to snap a couple-game losing streak on the cards and open up this Gulf Coast Showcase against a quality EKU team. Hernandez, baseline right, wiggles out of trouble, finds Watts, straight away, deep three-point ball, spits out left, and a rebound for Kimball. Here goes EKU right to left, throw to Myrick up to the left baseline. Sparks rejects it, but also got the hand of Myrick for a foul. 49-47, Ball State lead, 9:15 to play. And Myrick is somebody you're probably mostly okay with fouling.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be Peyton Sparks' 3rd foul. Myrick at the line and checking in. Mick, we talked about how long would Fat Hill stay on the bench with those 4 fouls. We've got our answer. He's getting ready to check in.
Myrick hits the first free throw. 1-point ball game. Gorosito and Hill back in for Ball State, along with Pearson. Jones, Hernandez, Sparks off the floor. Hill with 4 fouls, 9:15 to play. See what the decision is with his playing time the rest of the way if he doesn't foul out. Myrick misses the second free throw. Hendricks the defensive rebound for Ball State. Cardinals looking to build on a now 1-point lead against the Colonels of EKU. Watts surveys, wants Hill. Kimball's all over him, and Hill grabs the ball near midcourt. Kimball grabs it, takes it away. Myrick finds it. EKU has 3-on-2. Kimball takes a right wing three-pointer, splash home. That's what EKU does well. They haven't done much of it today, but they finally get one to take a lead.
Yeah, and that's Jamari's 5th turnover, leading the points off.
51-49, EKU leads with 8:40 to play. Hill now trying to avenge that turnover. Step into the free throw line, misses the J. Rebound to Myrick, and here goes EKU right to left with a 2-point lead. Kimball from outer space misses it right. Rebound for Myrick offensively, and a throw to Crawford. Kimball takes another one from the same spot and misses short. And there is a ton of contact, and finally a whistle blown. Foul on EKU.
And thank goodness, Ethan Britton Watts with the box out. They got over the back that time. Cardinals shooting free throws for the last 8:20.
Yeah, that's the 7th team foul. This one charged on Wool.
I mean, it's incredible, Mick. 16 offensive rebounds, a 14-5 advantage, second chance points. I mean, they've got 14 more field goal attempts.
Ball State shooting 16% better. And EKU leads by 2, 51-49 with 8:20 to play.
What happens, it just kind of can be demoralizing, right? Because you get a stop, and then all of a sudden they get another possession, and you got to dig in and play defense for 20 more seconds.
They just turned lights on or off. It feels like it's changed a little bit. And the lights got more yellow. I don't know. Here, Hertz Arena.
I think you might be right.
Like it feels like it just went brighter white. First free throw drops in for Watts.
We may have to run to the outlet mall and get some wool socks, because our feet are right over the hockey rink. And let me tell you, the puppies,
feel it.
as Bill Raftery would say,
they're not
frozen.
in order. Watts' second free throws all twine. It's 51, all 8:20 to go. Yeah, literally, there's like these plastic sheets 2 inches above the ice rink. You could put your hands down. You can touch the ice. 51 all. EKU possession. Kimball blows by Jones, but Jones cuts him off and then grabs him with the left hand, and Kimball forces Ball State into its 6th team foul, so both teams have the bonus for the rest of the game. EKU inbounds in the baseline left. EKU regular season champions in the A-Sun last year 2 times. They've had 20-plus wins in the last 6 seasons. They are a team and a program on the rise under A.W. Hamilton in his 7th season. They're 3-1 this year and playing it well. 51 all. Wool loses control, but Gorosito fouls him. Free throw line left. Gorosito thought he got all ball, but Wolves go to the free throw line for 2 shots left.
So both teams in the bonus now. Wool going to be shooting 2, 33% on the year, just 1 of 3. Doesn't get there a lot.
Wool today with no points. 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3.
Transfer, 1 of 2 from the College of Charleston. He was the 90th rated high school player in the country coming out of high school.
They had offers from Clemson, Georgia Tech, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. Instead chose Charleston,
where he averaged 1 point and 1 rebound.
And this year up to 11 points and 7 boards a game. Has 10 or more points in each of the last 3 games, but today that was his first point on the made free throw. EKU leads 52-51 with 8:04 to play. A deep bend to the knees, and Wool's free throw bounces around and finds a home. 2-point Colonels lead, full court pressure. Watts looking for help, finds Hill far side at midcourt, dribbles quickly, and then off to Watts, who crosses the timeline. Coach Lewis directs the offense. Under 8 to play, Cards down 2. Watts stands by himself at the midcourt logo. Pearson in front of Coach Lewis. Coach Lewis has both hands on his head. A slip pass for Sparks, but it's kicked out by Holt into Ball State's bench. And there's the under 8 media timeout. 53-51. Eastern Kentucky leads Ball State. 4-Day Ray Brewing now open in Yorktown, Indiana. Check out 4-Day Ray Brewing at 4dayray.com. That's 4dayray.com. Second half continues. Cards have the basketball down 2 with 7:40 to play on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Thank you, Jeff Jackson at Awards Plus in downtown Muncie, who makes all the plaques for our Pride Mark Student Athlete of the Week. Visit theawardsplus.com. EKU 53, Ball State 51 with 7:36 and ticking here in Game 1 of the Gulf Coast Showcase. Ball State possession left to right. Gorosito flings it for Sparks, and Blanton rips it out of his hands. Here goes EKU right to left with a 2-point advantage. Blanton leads all scorers with 21. He's looking for more. Spin move, leaves it in. Blanton is on a different planet. 23 points on 10 of 19 shooting.
The exact same shot. Right below the free throw line, turnaround, money.
He's a rebound shy of a double-double as well. Gorosito's got to get rid of it past midcourt. Eventually does to Pearson, who hands it back to Gorosito. 4-point EKU lead with 7 to go here from the Gulf Coast Showcase.
No field goals in the last 5 minutes for the Cards. Desperately need one here.
They came out of the gate swinging with a 7-0 run here in the second half. EKU has taken the lead back since. Pearson drives, baseline right. That ends the drought with a flick of the right wrist home.
Nice job, Mickey, not settling for a 3 there. Got to the paint, off of 2 feet, count it.
55-53, Colonels lead the Cardinals, 6:35 and ticking here in the second half. Kimball pulls up, straightaway 3-point ball, rims out left, into the hands of Fat Hill. Cardinals have it with a chance to tie or take the lead here from Estero, Florida. Wool picks him up near midcourt. Hill hands it off to Watts. Watts had a big 3-pointer here in the second half, 5 points on 1 of 5 shooting. To Hill, Ball State's leading scorer with 16 tonight, in toward the rim. Fadeaway shot leaves it short, but a foul on Eastern Kentucky.
So that's a play. We started to see the Cardinals do this in the second half against Dayton, where they isolate Fat Hill to get the ball at the top of the key and then get out of his way. Give him a ton of space where he can operate one-on-one.
Hill 16 points, 6 of 9 from the field, just 4 of 7 though from the free throw line. All in 25 minutes of work for the South Plains Junior College transfer. Nails the first free throw. At Mancino's Pizza and Grinders, every dish is created to order using the freshest, finest ingredients. Visit them on West Bethel Ave and stop by the sweet shop right next door. 55-54, EKU leads by a point with 6:09 to play. Hill for the free throw line right, grabs the ball, puts it at his left hip, takes a deep sigh, bounces the ball a few times, and releases. Pure. 55 all.
Smart move, Michael Lewis subbing defense for offense, bringing Mason Jones in, taking Fat Hill out with those 4 fouls. What a defensive effort. Eastern, a team that averages 82. They've got 55. Here we go, Mick.
What a ball game. Final 6:05 to go. Tied up at 55. Kimball gives it to Blanton. Right wing against Jones. Blanton drives. Kick to Holt. Corner left side. Drives again. Finds Myrick up over Hendricks. Misses long. Gorosito the defensive rebound. Here goes Ball State. Left to right. A chance to take the lead right back. Cardinals have outscored the Colonels by 7 here in the second half. They were down 36-29 at the break. Gorosito against Kimball. Kimball claps on defense. Pearson has it left wing in front of Michael Lewis. Pearson recontrols baseline right drive. A triple team and runs straight into Blanton, and it's a forced jump ball and EKU basketball. There were 3 defenders that caved in on Mickey.
It's just suffocating. It's physical.
I wonder how opponents even score 72 on EKU. This team is ferocious on defense.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, they've got a ton of athleticism, quickness, and they will double and triple team you at times.
55 all, 5:25 to play. EKU basketball. Kimball into the front court with the casual left-handed dribble. He is just 2 for 12 from the field today, 2 of 8 from distance. Hasn't slowed him down from shooting as Crawford has a ball kicked from Jones into EKU's bench. Stays EKU ball. Colonels haven't scored in the last 2 minutes. Shooting 17% less than Ball State, but they've taken 16 more shots.
I mean, they're shooting 33% to the Cardinals' 50. But because of the turnovers and O-boards, that's why we're at where we're at, tied at 55.
Blanton kick out, way downtown shot. Wolf from 3 nails it. That shot was way out there. And EKU doesn't care if they take those shots. The coaching staff encourages it. Full court pressure. Ball State trying to break it. Gorosito to Watts. They go back and forth. Watts looking for Gorosito, but he didn't have his head turned around. Now he lofts it for Wansey. 58-55, and now Kimball hits it out of bounds here in front of us, media row at midcourt. Stays Ball State basketball, 58-55. EKU leads with 4:50. Kimball is such a crafty player. Transfer from Eckerd College, was the conference freshman of the year. His cousin Justin Gatlin was a gold medal winner in the 04 Olympics in the 100 meter. You can see that the family genes run deep with speed because Kimball is fast.
No question, and you cannot pick the ball up right over half court. They will trap you. That's the worst place. Card's got a break there.
Down 3. Here's Hill, receives the screens from Sparks, but Blanton teams up with Wool to double him up at midcourt. Pearson left wing, open for 3, takes it for the tie, and it rolls out. Rebound to Kimball, and here goes EKU right to left. Trying to make this a 2-possession game. Kimball right by Gorosito. Gorosito fouls him. 58-55, EKU's going to the free throw line left with Kimball. 4:28 to play here from Estero, Florida. Hey, level up your living with University Village. They have you covered with spacious 2, 3, and 4 bedroom furnished or unfurnished floor plans available for fall 2025. Only a mile away from Ball State. Text CHIRP to 51378. That's CHIRP to 51378 to get your University Village off-campus housing. First free throws in for Kimball. And Kimball today, while he only has 9 points, he has 4 rebounds and 4 assists in 25 minutes. (58-55). Kimball's second free throw hits the back of the rim and lands home. 4-point EKU advantage. 59-55 with 4:26 and ticking. TJ Birch, the freshman's back in. Rather, it's 60-55. They didn't put a point up on the board. Now they just added that for EKU because Kimball hit both free throws. 5-point game. Pearson stops, stutters, right wing, off to Birch. Birch drives inside the free throw line right. Kimball's coming after him. Kimball nearly steals it. Birch baseline right. 5 seconds to shoot. Is in trouble. Throws it Watts at the horn. Straightaway 3. It rolls out. Pearson the tapper. Yes. Pearson was there, and it's a 3-point game. 60-57 with 3:50 to go.
Good job by Birch being strong amidst that trap. Thought it was going to be a turnover. He stepped through it.
Last 3:45 to go. What a way to open up the Gulf Coast Showcase. Blanton curls off a screen, drives baseline left, heaves one up, and Watts fouls him off the miss. Blanton with a game-best 23s going to the free throw line when we come back. Thank you, Spencer DeVoe at DeVoe Chevrolet in Alexandria for his support of Ball State Athletics. Visit DeVoeChevy.com. That's DeVoeChevy.com. EKU 60, Ball State 57, 3:36 to go on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Well, if you want to be like me and E, go to Kohl's and get some wool socks. Kohl's, for great holiday shopping, go to Kohls.com. You'll find amazing deals on everything you need in one place so you can focus on the moments that matter. Kohl's, where families come first and where feet come first with comfy socks.
Well, let's cash in some of that Kohl's cash you got, Mick. We'll have to do that after this game. 3:36 to go. Blanton going to the foul line. His coach, A.W. Hamilton, says he's been our closer for 3 years. He's the kind of kid on away games. He's watching game film on the bus. Everything you want from a leader. Big free throws now for the senior.
And Blanton to the free throw line left for EKU, leading Ball State 60-57. 3 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the game. Blanton today a game best 23 points. That's also his season high, and misses the first free throw. 10 of 19 from the field, 2 of 3 at the free throw stripe for Blanton, who's played 33 minutes. Blanton, a 2-time All-Conference, a first-team member and a second-team member during his career, and Blanton missed the second. Hill grabs the defensive rebound for Ball State, trailing by 3 with the final 3:30 to go here from Estero, Florida.
Set play coming up here out of the timeout for the Cards.
Watts against Kimball, slips it for Sparks. Sparks looks around for Hill, instead puts it on the deck, drives baseline right himself. It's one-on-one, and Sparks missed it short. Rebound Blanton, he has a double-double now. Off to Kimball. Into the front court with a right-handed dribble. Now Kimball looks at Coach Hamilton. There's the 4th all-time winningest coach in EKU history through 6 seasons. This is an ASUN team that's only been in the league for 4 years after spending 1948 to 2022 in the OVC, and they've become a premier ASUN conference team. Drive baseline left, 4 seconds to shoot. Blanton airballs the fadeaway shot, and it's off of the hands of Paul, out of bounds baseline left. Shot clock expired too, so Ball State possession down 60-57 with 2 minutes and 44 seconds to play.
I tell you, that was a good job defensively by Britton Watts. That was a contested 2 Blanton missed.
Here's TJ Birch surging forward for Ball State, down 3. Birch gives it off to Sparks, tries the hammer. He's rejected by Paul. EKU grabs it, and the Colonels have 2-on-2. Wohl stops. Watts picks him up at the front of the baseline left. Kimball and Birch throwing hands at each other. The officials just letting it go. Birch tips it around. Kimball re-corrals. Birch draped all over Kimball. What a matchup this has been, and now Birch just gets Kimball to foul him. With 9 on the shot clock, Coach Lewis is asking why, TJ, why?
Yeah, that's just it. He was really happy with the ball pressure, but when the shot clock's at 9 and Eastern hadn't initiated their offense, play it out. Then you don't want to bail them out, give them an opportunity to get to the line.
So Ball State's now committed 10 team fouls. Double bonus the rest of the game for EKU, and Kimball to the free throw line left, where he's typically a really good free throw shooter. Today he's 4 for 4, and on the season 14 of 15. His first 2 games, as the free throw goes off right, he averaged 18 points a game. The last 2 just 5.5 points per game. And tonight, 10 points on 2 of 12 shooting. He's had a grind through this game.
Yeah, if there's an Achilles heel, it's free throw shooting. They just shoot 59% as a team.
And Kimball hits the second free throw. That is the 334th ranked free throw shooting team in the country.
Oh,
Kimball now steals it from Watts. EKU's up 4, and they can get more here with 2:05 to go. And Coach Lewis can do nothing but fold his arms. He's speechless from the full court pressure from Eastern Kentucky that forces the 18th Ball State turnover. 4-point game. Kimball's burning clock now. Give off to Paul. Right wing, right in front of his own bench. Coach Hamilton calls out the offense. It's given to Blanton. Blanton baseline left drive. Hop step, give to Paul. 2 seconds to shoot. It's tipped out by Sparks. It stays EKU possession with 2 to shoot. This is massive if Ball State cannot let EKU get a shot off here and force a turnover down 4.
Hey, this media timeout's coming at a good point. I think the officials need to come over and look at this. I thought that ball went off EKU. That's exactly what they're going to do. So we'll see when we come back if the Cards don't get a break.
Yeah, they're taking a look at this. I think this might just be a regular timeout, though, E. Both teams are not sitting down. Looks like we'll keep it here. Hey fans, be sure to check out West Fork Whiskey, newly partnered with Ball State Athletics. Visit them in person in Westfield, Indiana, or online at westforkwhiskey.com. 61-57 our score. EKU leads Ball State with 1:42 to go. We were going to keep it here and look at what this situation is. The officials right here to our left. They say it touched off Sparks of Ball State, but did it go off Wohl last? Do you see anything conclusive so far?
Well, what I'm seeing is it did hit Mickey Pearson's hands. Yeah.
Not enough evidence.
Yeah, it was not enough to overturn it. It was close.
So EKU has the basketball. Baseline left, 2 on the shot clock, $1:42 in the game. Colonels have a 4-point lead. Pearson, Jones, Hendricks, Hill, Watts on the floor for Ball State.
Remember, Mick, it's not just the stop. You got to get the rebound if they miss.
It has to be a fast shot, and money's on Blanton, right, to get the ball and heave it up.
And why wouldn't you?
Game best, 23 points. They put an extra second on the shot clock as well, so up to 3 seconds to shoot it. Kimball looking around the baseline left. Baseline shovel. It is a three-point ball for Crawford. Airballs it. Blanton grabs the board, misses it long, and then another rebound for Kimball. A fresh 20 and time to burn now for Kimball for EKU, who's up 4 with a minute and a half to play.
17 offensive rebounds.
Coach Lewis hands on hips. 7 seconds to shoot. Kimball goes left the corner. Nobody was open because Wool went to the baseline left underneath the hoop. It's a turnover with 1:22 to go. Cards down 4. Can Ball State find a bucket and a stop? Jones hustling off the court. Back in his Hill with those 4 personal fouls. Pearson for Watts. Watts guarded closely by Crawford. Watts in between the leg dribble, surveying the offense. Sparks sets the screen, lifts Hill free. Hill grabs it, team best 18 points. In between the leg dribble, Hill takes it himself. Kick Pearson, right corner, three-point ball. He's open and cashes in. Mickey Pearson makes it a 1-point ball game with a minute to go, 61-60. EKU leads with the basketball. Cardinals bench is on their feet. Kimball into the front court, left-handed dribble, stands at midcourt. 20 seconds separates shot and game clock. 45 seconds to play in the opening game of the Gulf Coast Showcase. It's Blanton, the leading scorer today with 23 points. He's doubled up, 10 to shoot. Watts all over him. A give to Crawford. Back to Blanton, 5 to shoot. Watts guards and Blanton hurls one up. He misses long. Offensive rebound to Kimball. Has to chuck it up, but it's a shot clock violation with 27.8 seconds to go. It's Ball State basketball trailing by a point, and the Cards can hold for one final possession if they want it.
Yep, Cards got a break there. Second chance opportunity, but because the ball didn't hit the rim, the shot clock went out. Cardinals with 3 timeouts left. Michael Lewis not going to call one here.
An exhilarating final 27.8 seconds ahead of us. 61-60 EKU leads, but Ball State has the basketball. What a game to open up the Gulf Coast Showcase. Pearson has it baseline left. Watts grabs it, breaks 2 defenders. Here goes Ethan Watts. Stops in front of Coach Lewis with 22 seconds left. Ball State down by a point. Hill has it, runs baseline, off to Sparks, puts it up, hits it, he hits it, and draws a foul. Ball State has a lead, 62-61 with 15 seconds. Peyton Sparks comes through in the clutch.
And so did Fat Hill. Mick, the last 2 Cardinal baskets, assist by Fat Hill. It was Hill getting to the paint, the kick out 3 for Pearson. That time drew the defense, and Peyton Sparks delivered.
Sparks now to the free throw line right to try and convert on this and one. You said it before the game, can he hit and ones on layups? He's done it today, and Ball State leads by a point. 11 points, 4 rebounds for Sparks in 28 minutes, 5 of 8 from the field. This is the biggest free throw of the season so far for Peyton Sparks. To the right side, eyes, flies, and sinks it. EKU can win it with a 3 or tie it with a 2. Kimball has it at the front court, looks at Coach Hamilton, who calls a timeout, and with 12 seconds on the dot, Ball State has a 63-61 lead here at Estero, Florida at the Gulf Coast Showcase.
Well, here you go, partner. Cardinals making some winning plays. You got to make one more here. You, me, I think everybody in the building would expect Blanton to get this ball. You have to get the stop, but you have to finish it with a rebound.
What a game, E. 63-61. Ball State's in front with 12 seconds to play. In a game in which they've been out-rebounded on the offensive rebounds 19-5 and overall 40-30 and are shooting 17% better but have taken 14 less shots than EKU, the Cardinals have a 63-61 lead, 12 seconds to go. All right, do you double up Blanton and force him to give the ball up?
If he gets in and around the paint area, I do think you got to bring a separate body to him because he's been so efficient in there. But to me, it's all about when the shot goes up, you've got to get 5 guys putting bodies on people.
The Ball State faithful standing up here at Estero, Florida from Hertz Arena. 63-61, Ball State leads with 12 seconds to go. EKU has the basketball. Neither team has a foul to give. Both teams double bonus the rest of the game.
Ben Hendricks in for Sparks. Got to put a body on Montavious Myrick.
Crawford set to throw it in for EKU. Final 12 seconds. Give to Blanton, down to 10 seconds. Blanton receives a screen from Myrick, drives free throw line left. Shot goes up, he misses right. Oh, board for Wool, puts it up, and it rolls around and out. 1 second to go. Hill the rebound. Ball State wins it. Ball State wins it to open up the Gulf Coast Showcase in thrilling fashion. Coach Lewis hugs Jermari Fathill at midcourt, and Ball State's victorious 63-61. Cards on top.
How about that, partner? Well, they didn't get the first rebound, but Britton Watts tapped that ball away as the clock ran out. Big time win for the Cardinals, battling back here in the second half.
Ball State wanted something to make a statement early in the season, and this could just be it. 63-61, Ball State defeats Eastern Kentucky, who picks up just its second loss. Cardinals now 2-4 in the season, and boy, oh boy, my, what a day to start off things here in this showcase.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Cardinals needed it. You and I needed it. The fans needed it. Everybody feeling really good. And Michael Lewis really spent extra time with Blanton in the huddle, really congratulating that young man. Huge victory for the Cards as Michael Lewis joins us.
Coach Lewis walking over here on the post-game show, brought to you in part by Starry. Starry is your choice here for Ball State basketball. Coach Lewis joining us, 63-61 finish. Coach, how's your heart rate?
Oh, it's pretty good, man. I've done this a long time. That's good for our guys. I was worried about how we would respond. It hasn't been easy here to start with. I thought we showed some stuff here tonight or this afternoon. To go into halftime down like that and come out and make a charge, they make a run, and we stayed the course. It wasn't pretty. Obviously, we got to get a lot better taking care of the basketball. They that's what they do. They try to wear you down. And I told them at the end of the first media time out of the first half, I said, there's two things you can't get tired of today: blocking out and fighting to get the ball inbounds against their full court pressure and attacking accordingly. Now we weren't pretty, man. Like, we made a lot of mistakes. We turned it over way too much. We gave up too many offensive rebounds. But our first shot defense was the best that it's been in a long time.
Coach, after the last game, you talked about maybe some subtle minor adjustments offensively that you were going to make to facilitate some ball movement. Can you talk a little bit about anything that you put in play? Very efficient day today offensively, 49%.
Yeah, it's our best shooting output. We really didn't get to some of the ball movement type of stuff that we wanted because they took us out of it. They're heavy in the passing lanes. I was a little disappointed in some of our guard play and just getting the ball in and getting it where it needed to go. But I tell you what they did do, they delivered it at the end when it was needed. And we put Fat got in some foul trouble, but put the ball in his hands. He made two really, really smart decisions, unselfish plays. You put a guy in that position that hasn't been in that position at this level, they tend to take bad shots or turnover. He kicked it out to Mickey for a three. Big guy steps up, hits a big one. He draws two, drops it off to Peyton. Peyton steps, makes the basket, steps in. It's just one of those deals, man. Like when you're in these games and these environments, you just got to find a way to win the game. And those guys, like, it hasn't been easy for them. We've tried to change some things. We tried to simplify some offense, and some guys delivered tonight. I'm really proud of their effort.
Coach, in the non-conference, one of the things you want to do is try to maybe get some different looks that'll help you. This reminded me a lot of playing against like a Kent State with that physicality. You feel the same way?
Yeah, they were physical. They get after you. They're probably a little bit more full court pressure than Kent, but they were aggressive. I thought we did a good job. We hurt him early with Fat in some ball screen stuff. They just started trapping him. And, again, he didn't try to do too much. He just found the open guy, and we were able to move it. How many assists we have tonight? We got only 8 assists. I thought we'd have a little bit more. I did think the ball moved a little bit better, and we shot the ball better because I thought we were more willing to pass the ball today than we have any other day.
Coach Lewis, rest up. Appreciate you joining us here on the Starry Postgame Show. Congrats on the win.
All right, thank you.
It's head coach Michael Lewis joining us after a 63-61 victory for Ball State over Eastern Kentucky to start off the Gulf Coast Showcase. We'll have the Starry Postgame Show coming up, but before that, you win 50% off Papa John's. Ball State wins it today. You get 50% off regular price, any size pizza, any toppings at Papa John's. Offer valid until end of business today by phone or in person only at Marion, Muncie, and Anderson locations. 63-61 the final. Cards win it. Starry Postgame Show up next on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Welcome into the Starry Postgame Show. Ball State men's basketball picks up a big win here in Estero, Florida in the Gulf Coast Showcase over Eastern Kentucky, 63-61. The final score, a thrilling final couple of minutes of that ball game. David Eham, Mick Tidra with you. Let's send it back to Matt Tuttle in our network studios for Station ID on the Cardinals Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. And on the Starry Postgame Show, make sure to crack open an ice cold Starry. Starry is there for you and a proud sponsor of Ball State Athletics. That ice cold lemon lime soda will get you through each and every game. 63-61 is the final. Let's go ahead and take a look at those final stats, brought to you in part by MITS. Muncie, Indiana Transit System. No car, no problem. MITS is reliable, safe, and free for students and veterans.
Yeah, Mick, stat sheet's kind of crazy if you think about it. The Cardinals shot 48% to just 31% by Eastern. How could this be a two-point game? Well, because of the turnovers and the offensive rebounds. Eastern Kentucky had 61 field goal attempts to just 45 for the Cards. Cards 6 of 17 from deep, 35%. Came in averaging 29%, just 20% in their last game. So Cards matched Eastern Kentucky, who was 6 of 24 for 25%. At the free throw line, Cardinals 13 of 19, 68%. Meanwhile, the Colonels 17 of 26, 65%. Cards dominated on the glass, however, 41-31. Those 20 offensive rebounds only led to 14 second chance points. So Eastern just didn't take advantage enough of all the extra opportunities. Cardinals had 8 assists on their 22 field goals to go with the 18 turnovers. Meanwhile, Eastern Kentucky 10 assists, 12 turnovers. The Colonels had 13 steals to the Cardinals 6. You talked about George Kimball's defense, 6 steals alone for Kimball. Individually, Ball State led by Jamari Hill, 18 points, a team leading 7 rebounds, very efficient, 6 of 9 shooting. It was the 2 assists, he had 4 on the game, that were key for the Cardinals in the last couple of possessions.
And you heard Coach Lewis say, unselfish Jamari Hill plays in the postgame.
Yep, that's what that was all about at the end, and the Cardinals took advantage. Peyton Sparks, 12 points, 4 rebounds, a season-high 28 minutes of action. Great to see Peyton's minutes pick up. Mickey Pearson, 11 points, 5 of 11 shooting, 1 of 5 from deep for Mickey. After that, Wansi Gorosito, 3 of 4 from deep. Give him 9 points, 2 rebounds. And Ethan Britton Watts, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Mason Jones played really good defense in 10 minutes of action in place of Ethan Britton Watts. No points for Mason, but you can't say enough about the job he did off the bench guarding Blanton. Jeremiah Hernandez, 4 points. Hendricks, 4 rebounds, no points. TJ Birch, the freshman, 7 minutes of action, only 1 turnover, 4 points for TJ, 1 of 1 from the field. Joey Hart played but did not score. For Eastern Kentucky, they were led by Devontae Blanton, 23 points. However, 17 of those 23 came in the first half. Only one other double-figure scorer, Kimball with 11. Wohl had 5. Evans Paul with 4. Crawford 2. Tyler Andrews off the bench 8. Myrick 4. Buttrey had 2. Cards win 63-61.
That's the final score on the Starry Postgame Show. 63-61, Cards win it. We'll continue the Starry Postgame Show with our play of the game. Also recap this one, look ahead to tomorrow as well. Much more coming up on the Cards Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Ball State wins at 63-61 over Eastern Kentucky to open up the Gulf Coast Showcase. Let's listen in to our play of the game, which was that final bucket from Peyton Sparks to give Ball State the advantage. An exhilarating final 27.8 seconds ahead of us. 61-60 EKU leads, but Ball State has the basketball. What a game to open up the Gulf Coast Showcase. Pearson has it baseline left. Watts grabs it, breaks two defenders. Here goes Ethan Watts. Stops in front of Coach Lewis with 22 seconds left. Ball State down by a point. Hill has it, runs baseline, off to Sparks, puts it up, hits it! He hits it and draws a foul. Ball State has a lead, 62-61 with 15 seconds. Peyton Sparks comes through in the clutch. And he came through in the clutch indeed. 63-61, Ball State wins it over Eastern Kentucky. I want to talk about that play specifically because Coach Lewis has consistently used the phrase, we need to be more unselfish. Fat Hill could have taken it himself and tried to force the issue, but instead, Sparks was wide open right in front of him, and he does the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a smart decision, great basketball play, and good to see Peyton finish. And that's what you want. I mean, and again, I'll say the kick out, that big Pearson three from the corner, that was just a great play by Fat Hill. It could have gone up for the two. He knew the defense was sucked in, and that's the three that makes you pay the Cards have been looking for all year.
What a finish here from Estero, Florida in the Gulf Coast Showcase, 63-61. We'll get to more coming up on the Starry Postgame Show next on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Putting a bow on the Starry postgame show, Ball State victorious over Eastern Kentucky 63-61 here from Florida to open up the Gulf Coast Showcase. David Eha, Mick Tidrow with you, Matt Tuttle producing. This was one game that you got to look at as a potential pole vault situation for Ball State. Eastern Kentucky came in at 3-1. They went wire to wire with Clemson, had a lead against them in the ACC 54-50 with 12 minutes to go in that game. Clemson ultimately won. But Coach Lewis said that this Eastern Kentucky team is one of the most quality teams they'll play all season. And you said it, they kind of play like Kent State does. They have Blanton as their best scorer. All of those things factored in, how would you assess what this game means for this program today?
Look, it means a lot for no other reason the fact that the losing can wear on you, right? And you want to start to feel good. You know, that last 20 minutes at Dayton was kind of a preview of what this team could be, but you needed to see it. And so and look, let's face it, the Cardinals didn't play great. Like, the areas that you can clean up, the turnovers and the defensive rebounding. So when you can win a game when you're not actually playing at your best because you got it done defensively. I mean, that's a really good basketball team. They averaged 9 made threes a game. Cardinals only gave up 6. Hold them to 31% shooting. And so, I think more than anything, the Cardinals needed that to feel good about themselves, give them a little confidence and saying, you know what, and we've talked about it, Mick, it's not the same team you see in November that you're going to see in January, and this was a good first step. So I'm happy for the coaching staff. I'm happy for the guys. It just gives you a little bit more energy when you're able to get a W and feel a little bit better about yourself.
All righty, tomorrow Ball State takes on Florida Tech after defeating EKU today 63-61 in the second game of the Gulf Coast Showcase. That's tomorrow at 6 o'clock tip-off. Florida Tech 0-3 so far this season. They're a non-Division I team. They've played Edwards Waters, Spring Hill College, and St. Leo University. They've lost all of those games in close fashion by 8 points, by 3 in overtime, then by 5. And they play Richmond tonight at 6 o'clock. It's another chance for Ball State to go out there. This would be a great chance for the Cardinals to go 2-0 in the first 2 days of the Gulf Coast Showcase.
Yeah, no question about it. And look, let's be honest. Florida Tech is in this thing. They basically saved the tournament. Supposed to have 8 teams. You had to get 6, so at least everybody could play 3 games. And without a Division II team in the area stepping up, this thing may never have even happened. So credit them. But yes, for Ball State right now, it's about playing the right way and improving on what they did today. Another good opportunity tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So we'll see what happens.
Florida Tech will have 6 games in an 8-day span. That started on November 23rd and ends on November 30th because they have a Florida Tech Thanksgiving tournament on the 29th and 30th as well. So a lot of basketball for them. And see if Ball State can take care of them tomorrow. All right, that does it for the Starry postgame show. 63-61 is your final score as Ball State takes down Eastern Kentucky to start off the Gulf Coast Showcase. Special thank you to Matt Tuttle back in our network studios and for Coach Lewis joining us pre- and postgame. And for my partner, David Eha, I'm Mick Tidrow saying so long. We'll talk with you tomorrow at 5:40 p.m. for Ball State and Florida Tech. Tune in at 5 o'clock tonight for Ball State women's basketball taking on a really good Columbia team in a mid-major tussle down in the Bahamas. Talk with you tomorrow. This has been a presentation of the Cards Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield.